This is a sports catastrophe production.
Hey there, ho there, it's Jeff Coder and welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe Birthday Boy. And the birthday boy today for October the 24th is a man who actually was born the same year I was. So he was born in 1985, so that makes him 36, like me. He used to be a star for England's soccer team, and now is the manager of Derby County in the second division of English soccer, what they call the football championship, with the Premier League being the top thing. He was basically a forward who could do a midfield. And there's a song named after him, kind of. You know the song Ruby by Kaiser Chiefs? Ruby, Ruby, Ruby? Well, it's Rooney, 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 Rooney! Da 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 da. Oh, did you, do. Anyhow, so Wayne Rooney was part of the Everton youth team at age 9 and made his debut for Everton at the age of 16. He spent 2 years with Everton and then went to Man U for 25 million British pounds. And basically, alongside Michael Carrick, was the only English player to win the Premier League, the FA Cup, the Champions League, the League Cup, the Europa League, and a Club World Cup. So he scored 253 goals for United in all competitions, making him their top goal scorer of all time, beating the great George Best and Dennis Law, too. And put 183 Premier League goals for Man U, which is second most by a player scoring for any single club. Well, he wasn't a one-team guy in Premier League, but you know what I mean. Was Sergio Aguero for Man City with 184. He's the second top Premier League goal scorer of all time. I forget who's number one. If it's not Rooney. Oh, yeah, it's the great Alan Shearer. I figured it was Alan Shearer. 260. That's a lot. So anyway, Rooney was a star for Man U. Obviously, being a Man U nut that I am, he was making things happen. All that. He also he was close. He was also close to going to Chelsea or even Newcastle. So Wayne Rooney was the youngest player to score a hat trick in the Champions League when he scored on his United debut in a group game against Fenerbahce of Turkey. But Man U didn't win any trophies that year. He was still the young player of the year. Rooney was helping out a lot. Anyway, he was decent and then was given the prime number 10 shirt. You love that number. Unfortunately, he fractured his left metatarsal August of 2007. Rooney just had problems and all that. Rooney did help Man U win the 2008 Champions League over Chelsea, but Chelsea blew it, if you know what I mean. So Rooney was still the player that he seemed to be. So Rooney was a star and looked like he was going to really play. There were rumors that Rooney actually, after Sir Alex Ferguson retired, wanted to leave Man U. There were rumors that Chelsea, Arsenal, Real, and even Paris Saint-Germain were going to sign for him. Chelsea made a bid for Rooney, but Man U rejected it. So Rooney would sign a contract extension February 2014, which was supposed to keep Man U until 2019. But Rooney still was playing for Man U and all that. And became the goal scorer leader. I said George Best. Stupidly, it was Bobby Charlton that had that mark. That I said Charlton instead of George Best. because George Best problem. So Rooney left, and Man U let him leave on a free transfer this time. So he went back to Everton and was given the number 10. He came back for Europa League qualifying round and scored on his second Everton League debut when they beat Stoke City 1-0. Rooney scored a hat-trick against West Ham. His hat-trick goal was scored from 60 yards away as Joe Hart left the penalty area to clear the ball. So he looked good. And then in June 2018, he signed a 3-year deal with DC United. So he went to America. A little bit of a shock. Anyway, Rooney made one of the best plays in history for DC United. They're not telling me in my sources, but one game, I think it was San Jose, when one time that was going to score a goal with the goalie out. They had a chance to kick it into the empty net, but Rooney came back and swiped the ball, and then Rooney set up his teammate. Forget his name, but he scored the winning goal for DC United to tie them. Well, he did pretty well for DC United. 25 goals in 52 appearances. Unfortunately, the playoffs were not good for DC United. As in its 2 playoff rounds, they lost to Columbus and TSC. Oh yeah. So Rooney decided to come back to England to be player coach for Derby County in the 2nd tier. He was captain and did quite well. Derby would finish in 10th place in the COVID-shortened season. Rooney then helped Derby out. So Rooney looked good. And as of January 2021, he is the permanent manager of Derby, which means that Rooney left himself from the playing squad. But enough about his club life. What about his country life for England? Rooney could have played for Ireland, but he's English through and through, as he said. So he did play at Euro 2004, scoring twice for England over Switzerland, which was good. He was the youngest scorer in history. But 4 days later, Johann von Lampen of Switzerland did that. Rooney would score a pair of goals for England when they beat Croatia, but unfortunately got injured against Portugal. And was hurt. And worst of all, England was eliminated on penalties. Of course we were. So Rooney was injured in a Premier League match in April 2006 and was trying to do okay. England hastened his recovery with an oxygen tank, which allowed Rooney to enter the game against Trinidad, Tobago in the group stage and start against Sweden. However, he didn't get into game shape, and England was out in the quarterfinals on penalty kicks. And guess who got them? Portugal. Fuck. Worst of all for Rooney was that he was red carded for stomping on Ricardo Carvalho of Portugal. Unfortunately, the incident happened right in front of the Argentine referee, Elizondo. Worst of all, Cristiano Ronaldo may have played a role in it and gave a friggin' wink and all that. Rooney, well, Elizondo said Rooney was dismissed because of his stomping on Carvalho, and Mr. Ronaldo had nothing to do with it. Rooney took part in the 2010 World Cup for England. Unfortunately, they didn't start off that well. A dreadful tie against the Americans and another tie against Algeria. The England players were booed off the pitch. Rooney was at the center of controversy when he criticized the England fans for booing the team after the match. He apologized, but he did it for everything. England did beat. Who did England beat? Slovenia or something? To move on to the second stage, but they lost to Germany easily. Rooney helped England get to Euro 2010. Well, unfortunately, Rooney got in trouble because of a massive tackle on Montenegro player Dusudovic. Rooney was given a three-game ban. UEFA would reduce it to 2 games. He did play in the final game of the group stage against Ukraine, scoring the goal that helped England get to the quarters at Euro 2012. Unfortunately, England would be KO'd by penalties against Italy. But it wasn't Rooney's fault. He got his penalty kick. Yeah. And yes, he did play in the 2014 World Cup for England. And he did set up the only goal for England against Italy. In the second match, Rooney finally scored his first World Cup goal, scoring an equalizer against Uruguay, but then Uruguay won the game. England tied Costa Rica and were eliminated. He was still criticized for his performance. At Euro 2016, he played. He was man of the match after a big tie with Russia 1-1. And Rooney did score the penalty against Iceland at Euro 2016 in the playoff stages that had England in the lead, but then they shockingly lost 2-1. So Wayne Rooney, of course, was managing himself for Derby. His personal life is clouded and all of that. So, yeah. Rooney and his wife Colleen, they had a lot of problems. They had 6 years of on-again, off-again dating and all of that. So, of course, it was actually controversy with the Catholic Church because the couple held a religious ceremony at the Abbey of Cervalo near Genoa, Italy, because the plan, all that, something to do with the Catholics and all that. I don't know. Well, they have 4 sons: Kai, Clay, Kit, and Cass. Kai signed with Man U for 2020, being in the youth squad. I think he's now in the youth squad with Ronaldo's kid. Rooney did solicit prostitutes in Liverpool. And he was young and immature. So Rooney is pretty good with the social media and infidelity things. So the rumors that he was hated infidelity, but no, that's not true. So anyway, he scored 237 goals in his club career with Man U, Everton, DC United, and Derby. So, and 653 with the main squad. England squad. But that can't be right because, oh no, yeah, I guess. In 2015, he broke the great Bobby Charlton's England record. So that's hard to believe. He's a decent manager, but Derby's in deep trouble because of their administration things. Rooney might have Derby down in the 3rd division, but who knows? Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.